Hello and welcome to our financial literacy program. Through our presentation, we will discuss the avenues that the knowledge of vehicle loans can open for the poor people. We will focus our attention on the eligibility criteria for the loan, the amount that can be availed, and the consequences if the loan amount is not repaid on time. In our model, we will use informal chatting with domestic service provider Salma. Who is Salma? Salma has been working with us for the past 2 years. She lives in Chennai and is in her early 30s. She has one son and one daughter. She works as a maid in 3 homes, providing variety of services such as cleaning, cooking, and other domestic works. In our house, she takes care of our 3-year-old baby during daytime. She earns about rupees 2000 per month. Salma is not alone. She is a representative of lakhs and lakhs of domestic service providers all over the country. Last Wednesday, I had taken a day off from office. Here goes my interaction with her on that day.
Anna, my son is extremely ill and I urgently require some money from you for his medical treatment.
How much are the expenses?
As of now, I need to pay rupees 6000 immediately. I have received my salary of rupees 2000 from all the households and I have used all of that for the treatment. However, I need to pay the additional amount of rupees 4000 as soon as possible.
But is there no other source of income? Your husband is also working, right?
Anna, he has been unemployed for the last 2 months, which makes me the only earning member in the family.
What happened to his previous job? He was earlier working with a construction agency, right?
That's right, Anna. But he had a temporary contract with the agency for 4 months, and the contract ended 2 months ago. Also, he is yet to receive his dues from that particular agency. Since then, he has been trying to look for a job, but he has been unable to find one.
But has he worked somewhere else before?
Yes, he was earlier working as a driver with Mr. Khan for about 5 years. Mr. Khan resided in the opposite street. However, they moved from the city, leaving him unemployed. Since then, he keeps undertaking temporary contracts and is having extreme difficulty in finding permanent employment.
Oh, he has worked for a long time as a driver? So, has he not considered purchasing his own auto or taxi?
Anna, I am afraid he has not considered any such option as of now. Moreover, where will we get the money to purchase the vehicle?
But Salma, have you not heard about vehicle loans?
No, Anna, I have no idea about vehicle loans. In any case, who will lend money to poor people like us?
That is certainly not true, Salma. Vehicle loans are given by many banks to people having low income. These loans can be for auto rickshaws as well as taxis. Let me explain how. There is a scheme offered by the Union Bank of India. Under the scheme, if you satisfy certain conditions, you become eligible for obtaining the loan. Once you avail the loan, you will use the money to purchase the auto rickshaw. Then you will repay the money to the bank in installments. Let me explain all the steps one by one. The applicant should be a resident of Chennai metropolitan area, which holds true in your case. Also, the scheme is applicable for driver cum owner, which would be applicable to your husband. The age of applicant should be between 25 and 40. The applicant should possess a valid driving license. Also, the applicant should not possess any auto rickshaw permit. Also, the family income of applicant should not exceed rupees 36,000 per annum, which is true in your case. Now let me explain how much amount will you get as loan. You will get the loan amount up to 90% of the cost of the vehicle. You will have to pay the remaining 10% on your own. For example, a standard Bajaj auto rickshaw costs around 1 lakh. So in this case, you will get the loan for rupees 90,000. The remaining cost of rupees 10,000 will be borne by you. You will then have to repay this loan along with an interest rate which may be between 11 to 13% in 60 equal monthly installments. However, you do not have to pay any amount for the first 3 months after you have availed the loan.
But Anna, what will happen if I am unable to repay the loan?
Salma, if you do not repay the loan, the bank will have the authority to retrieve the vehicle from you.
Thank you so much, Anna. I understand things much more clearly now. What, according to you, should be my next step?
Salma, once you have enough finances to avail the loan, you may approach the bank with all the required documents that are mentioned in the eligibility conditions and file an application for the loan. You can come back to me if you have any further queries.